I already did episode 1, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. But I thought for episode 2, let's make it very interesting. And we have a very beautiful, gorgeous, long hair down to her booty, her bubble butt, my wife, Vanessa.
So you had your ex on before me.
Roll the intro clip. So how did you feel about that first episode?
I loved it. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of me shooting with an ex-girlfriend, like, how did you feel about that? What are your feelings towards that? Because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be in the comments.
Oh,
asking,
yeah.
You know?
A lot of people will probably still think you guys are together.
That's actually funny. They're just like, oh, good to see them. Good to see them again.
Wow, they're still going strong. The amount of times he get asked if him and Gabby, or what happened to Gabby? And it's like,
that hasn't been a sentence said in a long time, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I see those quite often.
I mean, if I was still vlogging, then maybe. But for them to open up, like, oh, good for them. They're still doing.
Let's just bring up all the exes.
Yeah, let's bring them all back. It was definitely interesting to shoot with somebody because we did a comedic skit before. Mm-hmm. I did one with her here with Alex. We shot like a Mexican mom meets Latina girlfriend, mm-hmm. and a lot of people actually liked, seeing that comedicness or the
you guys together.
They were like,
again.
"Oh wow, so mature, so good for you guys." Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Full circle, they're back together. My dreams have come true.
Gabby, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
No, I love Gabby. No. This is all jokes. I love Gabby. I've been around her a few times. She's so fun to me. So when people ask me like, oh, like how do you feel about this, or how do you?
How's your family feel? How's your like? You have sisters, you have your mom, mm-hmm. like your brother, your dad. Like, do any of them ever like? Are you okay with like who he works with?
Oh, 100%. My family, my sisters, the females in my family are very upfront, and they will kind of they're honest.
I can see that. Yeah.
So if you have sisters, you might know, but they'll just tell it how it is. Like, she's pretty. Why is she with him? Or why is he recording with her? How does he know her? I've gotten used to it, but whenever it comes to like Gabby or anyone, I'm just like, no, like they're friends. Like, I've personally met them. They're fine. We're cool.
I think a follow-up question I can have to that is just like the roles that I do. I've started getting back into the auditioning process. Mm-hmm. There was a recent thing that I read for, and it kind of had me like heavy breathing, ripping off a girl's clothes. Like it was an audition, like straight up like that. And I remember sending you like the sides to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I got audition for this. How do you feel if I was to land a role like this?
It's definitely a weird thing to think about. I know it comes with being with you. Obviously, you want to be.
I feel like it's such a double-edged sword for you because you're just kind of like, oh yes, good. I want you to get these opportunities, but also what the fuck?
Yeah, I obviously will celebrate with you at any role you get, but on the other hand, I'm like, damn it, he's gonna be one-on-one with this girl, probably kissing in bed. It even said like there'd be like a
naked.
What is it? Something coordinator.
Intimacy coordinator.
Intimacy coordinator, and I'm just like, I'll be the intimacy coordinator. Yeah. Let me do it.
You pop in.
I'm just like, hi, welcome. Get the fuck out of my.
You're shoving some lady with rope and tape over her mouth.
I know. No, but I know it comes with. It's always. What do I say? Before dating you, this is what you've always done. So I can't just come into your life and tell you don't do this.
Do sex scenes with girls in
bed.
You
can't make out with girls or have sex with girls because I'm here now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure like even whenever like they do that in movies and stuff, I feel like it's not even necessary anymore. Like there's certain films like I was for this role that I was reading for, I was like, all right, let me finally like check out this 50 Shades of Grey movie, and I couldn't finish it.
No, first of all, horrible.
What?
I told him if he wants to watch a real, more intimacy sexual movie, watch 365 Days. I will watch it with him. But yeah, you took up 50 Shades of Grey.
Because I was thinking like, okay, what the character is like a billionaire. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so he's got to have like this kind of attitude to it. So when I read it, and very kindly, Efren was actually here to read the lines with me. So we're near the end of it. And he's like, no, don't stop. Keep touching me. I was like, oh.
He showed me the videos and I was like, ew.
Why are you coming me? I want orange.
You want an orange?
You gotta wait at least an hour or two. Mommy's doing a podcast. We're recording.
We're still hearing back.
Yeah, we're still waiting back. I don't think I got it because it says that it shoots June, either July or June. If it's June 10th or 11th.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, we're already we're recording this. When is it?
Perfect.
June 5th.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Whatever. So I'm really excited to have you as my second guest here.
After Gabby.
After Gabby. I think it's cool to kind of get into topics, for me and you especially, any things that we have gotten into arguments about, and I think it's a good thing and a healthy thing that you and I I've gotten better over the 5-6 years that we've been 7 years
7, yeah,
that we've been living together. No, living together has been 6, but us living together from the beginning to now. How do you think we solve certain fights? If you and I bump heads on something, I feel like at the beginning, we'd get really annoyed at each other, or we'd be all huffing and puffing.
You could be honest. We would go at it.
We would yell at each other.
We would go at it.
There were some things that we strongly didn't agree.
Yeah, and I'm a hothead.
You are.
So if I get into an argument with you, I am off the rails. I'm letting it out. But
is there anything you've learned? Okay, so I like that you kind of admitted to that, right?
Yeah.
So for me, if I could meet you there, I think for me is I'm learning about my tone. When I say things, I don't understand. Sometimes my tone can come off another way from what I actually mean,
I'm getting triggered already. You want to fight? I think for me, it's listening first and trying to take in. We should try that. No, we've had these conversations before. For me, it's letting one, not talking because I'm an interrupter. If I hear something that you said, I'm gonna instantly cut you off and be like, nope, wrong, correctamundo, that's not correct. Versus having to really sit and listen to him and control my facial expressions, because if I'm not going to say anything, my face is going to say everything. Yeah. And I feel like my face has gotten me more in trouble than...
Yeah, you have no idea the amount of faces you make whenever I'm trying to make a point with you. And I'm like, hey, listen, if this made you feel this way, I'm sorry, but I was trying to come at it from this way, da-da-da. And you're just like...
I'm like, wow, okay.
Whatever. You're like... And I'm like, what was that? And I'm kind of like a girl in that way,
Yeah,
thank you. Clip that. I'm kind of like a girl, I'll be talking to you and I'm very expressionate. And if I see your face do a weird switch, I'm like, what was that?
Out. Yeah.
What was that? And I feel like most guys can kind of be very chill in conversations. Like, oh my God, whatever. And I feel like you and I are a little more reversed in that way.
We're sassy.
Yeah. We could be pretty sassy, but I feel like I could turn up my sass.
Yeah, you can.
And you turn up your attitude.
Attitude, yep.
How I whispered it.
Attitude.
No, I feel like we have a good balance of now just letting go of things.
Yeah, we're definitely more pick and choose your battles.
Yeah. There's a lot of times where we get into each other's hair, I guess, in the mornings. We're getting the kids ready for school, we're getting their lunches ready. I work from home, so a lot of times it gives me a good opportunity to just kind of just be here, be present with the boys a lot of the times, and then help you out in the mornings. You come upstairs, you get yourself ready, and I always know there's a certain time you got to head out by. And there's been some days where you're like, I gotta go, we're gonna be late. And I'm like, okay, so I record it. I'm like, okay, she needs to be in the car by this time. And there's other days where you're just like, la da da, do do do. And I'm like, hey, you're 5 minutes till. You're like, I know. Okay, and I'm like, yo, okay, all right.
I think sound the alarms if you know that I'm stressed and overstimulated. But I think sometimes I tell myself okay, just you're driving them to school anyways, so you'll get there when you get there. And I think it's either I'm super exhausted in the morning, I have no energy, and I'm just like, it is what it is. Or if I look at the time, because I am taking account of the time to leave. Yeah. But if I'm being realistic about it, and I look at the time and I'm like, oh, we're probably going to be late regardless. And I'm like, all right, well, let's just do what we got to do before we go.
Is there an example that we can probably get into of an argument that we've had and maybe didn't come to a resolution.
Oh, do you want me to pull up my notes? Because I dialogue everything.
Relax.
I journal everything. I can ask ChatGPT. They know everything about our relationship.
ChatGPT. What do we fight the most about?
Hey, ChatGPT.
How he likes his eggs in the morning. Guys, I hope you're enjoying the episode. Wanted to break real quick to let you guys know that we're going on tour. FOO'S Got Talent tour. That's right. So we're going to be in your nearest cities. Over in Texas, we're going to be in San Jose, all the way to Southern California down here. So get your tickets. They're linked below. We're excited to see you guys there. We got a lot of fun guests. You know, we got Chocolate Uno, Perro White, Edgar, Ciego, myself, and many more. So come on out. You guys could be a part of the action up on stage if you have a talent. Welcome to FOO'S Got Talent. Get your tickets below. We'll see you guys there. Now back to the episode. No, I think like a good example would be one that we had yesterday. I had a slight confusion of something, and you looked at me kind of like, this always happens. And I was like, does it? I don't think so. And then you kind of drove off with like a smirk, and that irritated me.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna just say it. So she's pulling out of the driveway, and like I'm used to her getting out of the car. I mean, pulling out of the driveway. And
it's because we haven't talked about this. So this is the first time we're talking about it since yesterday.
And I think it's a good example. Look at the guys. They're paying attention. Efren got off his phone.
Efren literally got off his phone and looked at me like.
But I'm close. I always give the boys a kiss. I help put them in the car seats. She gets in the front. She's in the driver's seat. And then I try to roll up. For some reason, the back window is down, and I try to roll it up on my son's side of the window, the passenger.
It's child lock.
The back, the child lock. I'm like, oh, can you roll up the window? Why is it down? He goes, I always have it down. I'm like, no, normally it's like, I think it's closed. He's like, no, it's always down. Like, I roll down the window so you can say bye to the kids. Like, normally I go out by the street and I do it. I'm like, oh, then that's it. It's because you like, it threw me off. I'm used to kissing you and then like saying bye to the kids when you roll down the window. And she goes, no, I'm pretty sure I do it all the time. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm saying that's what confused me. Like, why? And so that face, that little why, I was like, what's happening right now? And then you kept like that smirk, that same smirk. And it's such a dumb little thing. But to me, I was like, wait, are we fighting? Okay, all right, bye. She's like, okay, I don't know why you're getting all upset. And you're backing out, talking to yourself. I'm like, what? And I say bye to the kids, and then you just drive off like without even saying bye. I'm like, all right, we're going to have one of those mornings today.
Yeah, we did have those mornings. But there's two sides of that.
Yeah.
That you don't know. I'm trying to do something. So, okay, here's the thing. I'm in the driveway. And usually when I reverse out into the street and I'm about to literally drive off, I roll down the windows and the kids always say bye to you, like, bye, daddy. And then I drive off. Yesterday, I was already in the car. The doors were closed. So I just rolled them down earlier than what I used to do. And to me, it was just so Eric can talk to the kids in the meantime before I start reversing.
So why didn't you just say like, oh yeah, I just thought I'd keep it down. So
wait, hold on. I'm going to get into that.
Okay.
So I think he checks cruise, and I notice he's pressing the button for the window to go down. And he's like, why is the window up? And I'm like, because I rolled it down. And I don't remember saying I always do it, but you were just so caught up in the moment of trying to kind of be right, which was, I'm right. Like, you never have the windows down until you're in the street. And to me, it's like, why does it matter when the windows are down? The windows are down regardless. So
you can just talk to the cameras. You don't have to look at the guys. You're not talking to them.
No. I'm looking at the camera, but it looks like it because Angel's right there. But anyways, then it just started going back and forth. He's like, well, you never roll down the windows until you're like in the street. And in my head, I'm just like, okay. Because in my head, I'm like, is this really an important detail to you? Like, I just rolled down the windows so you could talk to the boys. And now you're nitpicking the fact that I rolled them down before I was actually in the street. And so that's where my point of view was coming in, was like, this is not a big deal. I rolled down the windows. Yeah. And then I had to eventually tell him, like, okay, I rolled them down earlier than before I left. I usually roll them down as I'm leaving. He goes, okay, can you just understand that? And I was like, yeah. And I just looked at him like, oh.
You looked at me more like it was like, he always has to have his way, or he has to have me agree with him.
Because it comes off like you tend to try to want to correct me a lot, versus I feel like yesterday you could have just been in the moment and been like, oh, okay, like let me just continue talking to the boys. Instead, you had to make it a kind of like a lecture of, you don't do this, you do it this way. But today you did it this way. So I'm upset or I'm bothered because I'm telling you did it differently.
Yeah.
And you're just looking at me with attitude. In my head, I'm like, but it's not that serious.
One, you're right. It is not that serious.
Thank you.
But I think there's something there where it wasn't so much like, oh, I wanted to be correct. I wanted you to acknowledge that moment. And then it could have been a quick like shrug off. Because I know in reverse, like I would have done the same. Like I think I would have done that. Like I'm kind of like, oh yeah, normally I have it. Yeah, no, I don't know. And just kind of left it there. But you had this whole like kind of look to you like, and that's what bothered me. That little that little moment, So that was it. And I feel like a lot of our arguments actually, even though this is like a dumb little one, right? Because we got over it. You end up texting me, I love you. I'm like, I love you too, whatever. But there's so many other arguments that we get into. And I feel like there's just that little bit of like a tone or a little like, you can question like, why is this even a deal? Like a problem. And the same for me. Like, I'm no saying like, I know that there's going to be things that I react to you. You're looking at yourself. Yeah. There's things that I'm going to react to you and I'm just going to be like, oh, why is she saying it like that? Like, why does that matter?
Yeah.
Which I think is the same thing you had right there, right? You're like, why does that matter?
Yeah, I'm like, who cares? Just
who cares?
roll down the windows, talk to your kids.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And I could have been a little more like, oh, normally you have it. It doesn't matter. Okay. I love you. We'll see you later. But the thing about living with somebody is sometimes little things like that could just get under your skin. The things that you pick and choose, like how you were saying earlier, can just happen. Like, you're like, no, you know what? Today I want to put my foot down. Like, you did something stupid. Yeah. and you basically say that, Vanessa, is this where you thought your life would be right now at this point in time? Oh.
100% no.
Please elaborate.
Well, I never thought that I would be with my YouTube crush, which I feel like I've talked about that before with you.
Have you said YouTube crush like that?
Yeah, you were always my YouTube crush. So it's funny because whenever fans come,
well, you didn't follow me like that. You didn't.
No. I wasn't like a adamant follower, or I still haven't seen.
You mean crush like, oh, like he's cute and
yeah,
you didn't really like watch.
There was a time where I did watch Troll Adventures and I was always saying like how I thought you were cute and dibs on Eric, this and that. And then of course like life goes on. I grew up.
You're what?
I grew up.
Yeah, you grew up.
No, but I never thought that like I would be with you, like to really stop and think about all the events that happened in our timeline leading up to this. I was like, damn, like that's insane. And then having twins with you is another plot twist, because I always thought I was gonna have like a singleton and plan accordingly of like how many kids I want and when I want kids. And then we had two. It's like already been 5 going on 6 years since we had them. So, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I love the life I live, but it's not what I expected for myself. But I'm not complaining about it because I love it.
What did you see for yourself? Did you see yourself like in your 20s, early 20s, maybe doing a sport? You were good at soccer. Like was there anything that you wanted to go pro at or?
No, I mean, I was just working regular 9-to-5 jobs. So I think for me, it was just doing that and still being in school.
Did you know what you wanted? I remember like you kind of at the beginning telling me like you didn't know what you wanted to do really. Like,
in the beginning, when I met you, I was going to school for kinesiology to become like a health
like
sports therapist. But then after I met you, things kind of moved fast, and then I just didn't end up going to school. But it wasn't something that I was super passionate about, but the closest thing that I could see myself doing was maybe a sports therapist. But I don't know if that's what I would have followed through with though.
Yeah. Are you happy?
I am happy.
Like, are you happy?
But
are you happy for?
This is for.
Okay, for like on everything, on your mom and my mom, for like, are you happy?
Yes, I'm happy. Of course I am. I love the life we have, our family, everything that we've gone through has led to our moments. Like I even told you the other day, like it's crazy to think back to everything we've gone through, but I'm glad we've gone through that because we're so different today. And even when it comes to arguing, like in the beginning of our relationship, we would argue a lot, but now we've been more dismissive. We give each other more grace. We've learned each other's just like habits more versus in the beginning we were trying to go through it together, but not putting ourselves in each other's shoes or wanting to I feel like
our mindset was very like we wanted to win every fight. We wanted to feel very like, how did you treat me? Like, how are you talking to me? How, you know, and so sometimes you get to a point where you become not like submissive, but you become very okay, I have to understand what she's feeling right now. I have to understand what he's feeling right now. Like, okay, he's upset about something. Like you've told me this before. Like, sometimes you're upset or you're working on something, and if something isn't going the way you're going, like, and you come downstairs and you sound like you're just very hot about things. Like you don't take everything so serious. And the same thing, vice versa. Like I'll look at you, and if you're like kind of being a little snappy towards the kids, like, hey, leave mom alone right now. She's busy. Or when you're on your laptop, if you're ever on your laptop. Oh my! None of your kids exist.
No,
like,
no. It's
no, I don't mean it in a
that.
bad way, but I mean it in a way where you're like so locked in.
Yeah.
Because she does like online courses, like she does online classes right now. Because you're going to school right now for. Do you want to tell them? I don't know.
I'm currently back in school for nursing, so I'm doing my prerequisites.
Yeah. But anyways, I think that's really crazy how. When you're in a relationship, you start to choose. The person you love, and you choose to love them versus like in the movies where it's like, oh my God, it's true love at first, like it's kind of like, obviously we have that attraction towards each other and we met and there's a good vibe between us. And I feel like, one of my favorite things is comedy, laughter, which I'm always very impressed by you about.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say it another way. You make me laugh a lot. And that's something I love a lot. So it's like never boring with you. Is what I'm trying to say. Even though a lot of times, fool, you're very sleepy.
I'm so tired.
Like if anything, like you're fucking sleepy brown, dude. Like,
have you seen those memes where it's like, would you rather have a girl that goes out or a girl that sleeps all the time?
Yeah.
I would love to.
You're
sleep
that sleepy bitch.
24/7. Yeah, I am.
How do you like being a mom to two very different kids?
I love it. I never pictured myself ever having twins, but it's.
Did you know you were going to have boys specifically? Or did you think like, oh, maybe am I a girl mom? Am I a boy mom? Because you're definitely a boy mom.
I'm such a boy mom.
Yeah.
I don't see myself as a girl mom, except lately I have been wanting a girl more.
Ooh, it's coming.
But I know. But I think I was really happy. I was really happy. I would have been happy regardless what if it was 2 girls, 2 boys, 1 boy, 1 girl. But I think having the boys show you so much love. And I love it. They're such mama's boy too, but
they're super mama's boy, which is great for you.
They look like me.
There's like a little weird like opposite thing happening because I think like for dads that become girl dads, I think they just have like this very soft like, oh, she can't do anything wrong, almost like my little princess. No one's gonna. But for some reason with the boys, like immediately when they were born, I felt this sense of like, I gotta structure these kids. I gotta make sure that they do the right thing. I gotta make sure that they don't get into any like trouble. So that became my mentality, and I was like, dang, does anybody else feel this, or am I kind of like, am I feeling like an asshole? Like, am I being too hard on my kids already? And it wasn't until I think I was talking to Tim because Tim had his daughter first. He was very sweet with her. He's like, oh baby, yeah, and we'd see him, and when they come over. And he had his son. He was like, this little dude over here. Like, he's a little more, like, kind of shoved, like, toughen up. Oh, get up, bro. Like, you're good. Still tender, but I think, like, it's just like a dad thing. Like, it just happens internally. Like, you want to give that very, like, you good? All right, get up. Get up. But if my little girl was to fall, like, I'd be diving to make sure she's fine,
Yeah, you would.
So I think there's that. I don't know. I'm not a girl dad, so I can't really relate to other girl dads out there right now.
But what's interesting
is... But I've just... Whatever I've heard.
Yeah, I know for a fact, obviously, if we have a little girl, it's like, who am I? Who am I anymore? But I feel like
Who are you?
having the boys definitely softened me more. Because remember, I think in the beginning of even our pregnancy,
Yeah.
I remember I opened up to you and I was crying to you because I was like, I don't know if I'm capable of loving, because I don't know if you remember that conversation.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because I was like, I feel like I lack this emotional aspect to myself where I can't connect with someone. And I think even with you, I was obviously I was into you. I loved you. And
Obviously, I was into you.
But no, but it's this thing where it's like, I don't show my emotions. It's kind of like, yeah, I love you. But I'm not the type to like tell you like you
were like a bro.
I'm like a bro. So it's especially when it comes to being with someone and trying to give them the love language that they receive. It was like his is very much like affirmations and more emotional.
Yeah, I'm emotional. I need touch.
Yeah, touch is fine. But
I'm the type. I'm the type that like. Example, I'm the type that I'll come downstairs and I'm like excited for the morning. I'm like, good morning, everybody. What's up? I'll start singing.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're just a little more chill.
I'm very chill, but I always used to think showing emotions was like cringe. And
gay.
So, no, but it was cringy to me. So I remember I was pregnant and I had a conversation with him where I was just crying. And I was like, we're having boys. Am I going to be the mother that they should have, like the loving mom? And then you were there, you were kind of comforting me, and then like now it's like I'm just this total different person. I'm more loving to them. I think I'm more loving to them sometimes. Like baby talk them. I baby talk them. If they get hurt, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you okay? But if you get hurt, I'm like laughing my ass off with you.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I record every single moment and I cry at night.
So I feel like having them definitely has softened my heart and made me more in tune with my emotions. But yeah, I am excited because we do want to have more.
Yeah.
But it's when the timing I think is good for both of us.
Same for me. I think, with the boys, there's been my own thing where like I want to be a little more loving. And if I feel like if I'm not, then it could come across a little, I don't know, too hard on them. And so like and I think you've seen it, there's a lot of times where like I'm like I'll snap and I'm like, hey, knock it out, because you'll come home from taking the kids and then bringing them back, and then you're like, they were not listening. They were like almost like you pour everything. I'm like,
like, help me.
It's your turn.
Yeah, like tag
and
team,
so
help me, save me.
And so the boys see me as like very serious, like I and that's a weird thing for me. Like sometimes I'm like, all right, here we go. Because like sometimes I see how affectionate and loving they are with you, and like there's times where I want to turn that on, or I want to come home and I want them to run towards me in excitement.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are like, Dad, but like I feel like as they're getting older, they're kind of losing that because I have such a scoldiness to me, like, hey guys, listen to your mom. Hey, Dad, like I feel like the love that they get from me is very tough love. It's a little too much tough love and not so much tender.
I wouldn't say it's too much tough love, because I think it's an equal balance. You love them and you play with them and you show them this love. You verbally tell them like, I love you. You make daddy proud. You definitely give them a lot of love, but I think they just know like, don't mess around with dad. Versus with me, it's like, oh, mom, she's such a softie with us. Like, we could do whatever we want. And yeah, we're going to push her buttons, but she's. Now,
is that a common thing though? Like with the other, like, because it's funny because you've sent me videos of other women. Like, there was something, or I think I went through something and I saw that you hearted it, and it was just like a woman like, when he's like the title on the top of the video was like, when your man like yells at you because your children have been mean at you all day, or something like that.
Or something with it's like when your husband defends his wife and it's against his kids.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah, it's just like. She's all turned on.
But it's a very common thing within, I think, families. It's just usually the kids are, I don't want to say afraid of their dad, but I think they just know that dad's more stern. He's more do as I say, and there's not going to be any other like ands, ifs, or buts. But I think for moms, it's like we're more lenient. If I tell you like don't do that, or I'm not going to give you something, it's like I'm still going to give it to him.
Yeah.
So I think they know like, oh, mom's just saying it now, but
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by the DOWNEST Fool. That's right, my very own chili oil that you can get right now at thehousefood.com. Use code PODFOOD20 for 20% off your first purchase. We're really excited about this. This is something that has come a long way, and we're about to get into supermarkets soon. But if you want to get your hands on it now, thehousefood.com. Now back to the episode. If we were to summarize both of them, I would say Cruz is the wild. I want to fight. I want to be bigger than daddy. I want to, I want to be a superhero. Ezekiel kind of has he touches a little bit on that, but he's also like a little love bug.
Yeah.
Like he loves to be very cuddly and cute. And doesn't really care too much for fighting. No, like that's not his vibe, but he's really good at like paying attention to things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But
he's gotten more in tune with his like roughness.
Yeah.
Because before he was like, no, I don't want to fight. But now it's like, I think he is understanding his strength because he's strong.
Yeah. He's probably got like an inch on Cruz, huh?
Yeah. They're right there. But he's always been a little bit bigger, just not even by that much. But I think he knows that like, oh, like I have strength and I'm strong too. And I can handle it when Cruz or daddy, like plays rough. But yeah, he is like a little cuddle bug.
It's crazy because I feel like there's too many times where we're trying to do our best to raise them right and have them not see terrible things like on TV or see, there's like that, what is it? Something, Friday Nights at Freddy's or Weekend.
Friday Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah. Or there's like a thing called Huggy Wuggy now, which, as parents, you probably think, oh, this is safe. But then like you get to see it's like they're actually monsters or they're
eating kids.
Yeah. Eating kids are scary. I walk through, like, I try to hide them. We try to blind them from it or shield them from it. But even walking around through Target, there's just like, we walk past some like random thing that was a part of that family of weird eye bugging things. And I don't know if other parents have seen it, but like, there's been like certain stores we go into, Walmarts or Targets or something. And then like you walk past it and then there's just like, hey, you there. Can you take me home with you? And I'm like, yo. And it's all creepy looking. I'm like, man.
Yeah. And it's all in the kids aisle. So you think you're going into an aisle to look for an innocent toy, and then you turn around, they're right there. And it's like,
the thing is, it leaves an impression on the kids. Like they know how to sell this because they know that the kids are going to get scared. They can't stop thinking about it. Our kids, we charge them like, okay, stop talking about it. They call it Scary Bear. Right. And so there's so many times where like, oh, a kid, had Scary Bear backpack at school. A Scary Bear popped up on ball, so it's just a bunch of that keeps happening, and we're like, damn, we're trying our best to like kind of like shield their eyes from it, but something new always comes up. Yeah. So it sucks.
Yeah, it's definitely a different new thing we're going through now that they're getting older. They're really more, I don't want to say fixated, but they're just more curious. And now they know, like, oh, if I wanted to, I could see this, or I could kind of know what this is about. But it's now. But the good thing is, we pray with them, and so now they have that in their minds and in their hearts, like, oh, I just have to pray.
Yeah, and I love that. Yeah, I love that as a family, we make sure we pray every single night before bed, and we say anything out loud, what we're feeling. When the boys pray,
oh, it's the cutest thing.
Dear Lord, thank you for your day. Thank you for my mommy,
daddy,
for daddy. Ollie, our dog, Never have I ever with my wife, Vanessa.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. Never have I ever pretended to be asleep to avoid sex.
Never have I?
You always want me.
Yeah, I feel like when and where I'm always pretty much down. I don't
necesitas. My Vanessa-citas.
No, I think I'm.
Let's go.
No.
She's totally lying. All right. Never have I ever farted during foreplay and blamed it on something else. No, we're actually not a farty couple. Wait, okay. How do I say that?
I am. Not.
I'm definitely a very farty dude.
He farts for the both of us. I guess you could say I'm old school. I don't think it's ladylike to fart.
Fight her in the comments.
Burp in front of anybody. Really, I get grossed out.
I agree with her.
I get grossed out. It's just something that I've always been like. So yeah.
It's a weird thing for me too. Yeah, because like I feel like it's so double standardy. Like I'm just kind of like, don't fart in front of me. But I'm always gassing.
I've been around people who do fart But to me, on the inside, I'm like, oh, why would you do that? It's disgusting. But that's just me personally. I just don't think it's ladylike. But again, it's me. If you do it, you do it.
Never have I ever used our kids as an excuse not to do something.
Oh, 100% I have. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, of course, all the time.
And get out of things.
You get out of things.
But also, it really does end up being like, because we don't have like a sitter at the time or, something.
Yeah.
Never have I ever Googled, is it normal that my spouse ... Question mark.
Oh, 100% I have.
Really?
I have 100%.
What would you, give me your phone.
Again,
Give me your Google.
ChatGPT knows us by like so much stuff. But yeah, I've
there's
definitely...
a lot of people, sorry. There's a lot of people that speak to ChatGPT like if it's a person.
Like they're dating or a friend? Yeah.
I didn't know if it was dating.
Probably. I wouldn't
But
doubt it.
that doesn't mean I wouldn't take it out of the way. We can get into that later, but okay.
Yeah.
Back to the question.
Yeah, I definitely have Googled about you.
Googled about me?
Yeah.
Like when your husband does, give me an example. Give me one that's a little light. Or you can go crazy.
I can't think of it now, but I know I have.
Okay. If you got one for your man, comment down below. I wanna hear what people would Google about their spouse, man or woman, whatever it is. Never have I ever tried a new sex move and completely failed.
Yo, yeah, we have. Yeah, I think that's normal. I think that's normal.
Never have I ever faked a moan just to speed things up.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great.
I'll never deny request to have sex, but sometimes I'm like, speed it up.
I think there's a process there because for you, how long would you? I feel like I already know, but like, how long would you feel? Okay, that's enough now. You can get off. I
am horrible with time.
Oh, damn, you are.
I suck at even.
What if
guessing.
What if you get yours a couple times there, 2 or 3 times?
And then it's like, all right, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I get that vibe too. I'm like, okay, my turn.
I'm like, come on.
Thank God, I'm sweating and I need a fart.
That is so real.
I'll get up like after a whole like passionate time. I'll get up and I'm like, brr. I was holding that in, and you're like, great.
Yeah.
I'm romantic.
He is.
All right, I'll do one more. Never have I ever role played and couldn't stop laughing halfway through. Oh,
we don't even role play. We just laugh.
I don't know what it is. And I think I've learned something about me because I was like, oh, she's always like giggling and laughing about things. And I was like, oh, it's my fault too, though.
Yeah.
Right before we, we get into it, like I can't help but feel like I need to crack a joke or what did I say one time? I was just like, it's in. Like I had to like.
Yeah, I had to actually talk to him about it because it's healthy in a way. I read that it's healthy to laugh with your partner. Like it's not a bad thing, and it's fun. It really is funny. But there does come a certain time where it's like, okay, you could stop cracking jokes because now it's like I'm not into it as much as I thought I was in the beginning. And now it's like you have to restart the foreplay because I'm laughing so much. You laughed it out of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you get like nervous. Not like nervous, but you just crack jokes.
Is that how it comes off?
Yeah.
I think the idea of intimacy, it's kind of like I can't get into a. You ready for this?
No.
Like I think I don't take myself like serious in that way. Like kind of like grabbing your hair.
No, that's not us.
Looking at you.
That's not even us.
Start caressing your like I don't know. So I think to kind of just get into that. Like I'll throw jokes and I'm like, you ready for this?
Yeah, because we'll both be into it. Like we both want each other, but then to break it, we just start laughing.
Yeah. I think it's just like start laughing, and then like once we're there, like we'll let that get serious when it gets serious.
We'll laugh, and
so
the
glad
next
Angel's
thing you know,
hearing all of this.
we will like start laughing, and then next thing you know, it's like the laughing is just stopped, and
and then we finish, and then what's her favorite thing to say like after we're done?
Well, you say it. You
Oh yeah, I'm like, you're such a slut.
I know. We'll like at the very
We
end.
start with funny and then end it with funny. Like, look what you
He
made me
goes,
do.
You
You
slut.
slut.
And he goes, look what you made me do.
Clean yourself off. Wait, let me bring you a towel.
But it's so funny. It's just because like if you, yeah, it's funny. Serious, sexual, passionate, and then it's like, you slut. Look what you made me do.
Because after all the heavy breathing, it's kind of like you. And we don't even say we don't drop the S. We call each other lut.
We go, you lut.
Baby lut.
Angel's like, what the heck?
Oh man.
Shall we?
How do you guys plan a date night? How do we plan a date night? I think we get like a sitter situation.
Mm-hmm.
We have our awesome sitter.
Oh, love her.
Yeah. A lot of times it's like kind of when we get invited to events.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like date night, like we maybe I got to be better at this. I got to be better at hey babe, you know, we're just gonna go somewhere. But we've had some moments here and there.
Mm-hmm.
No,
we definitely have gone out on dates. Like we'll go out to eat or we'll watch a movie, then go out to eat. But I do think because more events happen, we just use those as opportunities to like get dressed up and find a babysitter, stay out late, and then go hang out with some friends.
Almost.
Yeah, it's more of like a social outing for us. We're around our friends, but it's also a date. So it to me it counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kept you going when you felt like giving up? Wow.
Damn.
That's a good question.
Between us?
Yeah, I'm sure we've had like some moments where, you know, we were kind of like, I don't know anymore, fool. But I think those were probably more in the beginning.
Yeah.
To be honest. Because now it's like, we got kids, and I think a lot of the times when I see the kids, I see you. You know, I see our family. I see like everything that has been like put together, and I feel like that God has given us. And the things that I've prayed for is like, oh man, they're right here in front of me. So I don't really think this, I guess. I don't know. Does this apply to you?
Now? No.
Yeah.
Like what's the question again?
What keeps you guys going when you feel like giving up? I'm assuming our relationship.
Yeah. So I would say definitely before we had kids, we were definitely tested a lot. I think we just both had the same mutual feelings for one another, that it was kind of like, why give up when we know something is so good and real? Yeah. And then obviously when you have kids, you think about your family, you think about what your kids, you know, should have for a family. That's not to say like stick with something just because you have kids, but for us, like it's just a constant reminder of our love and the family that we built, the life that we have. And it's beautiful. So yeah.
I like that. Hey, let's keep this thing going.
What do you say? I guess I'll keep this ring.
You know what? I'm going to hang on to you. I like that. All right. Another question comes from, how did you guys meet? I feel like we've told this.
Slid in my DMs.
Yeah, I slid in your DMs. I hit her with a cute little smiley face and started hanging out from there. And there was like an age gap between both of us. So I remember thinking like, oh, okay, this will be interesting. Because I kind of wanted to pull back. I'm like, a little too young. And then I was like, well, whatever. Let's just meet and see what happens. And then you ended up being just really dope.
Yep.
So whatever. I married you. Any tips for new parents? How did you guys avoid being stuck in a routine?
Well, it's hard for us because we had twins. And so if I had one,
we're very different. We had twins. It's just hard for us. Sorry.
You had the other one if I had one. So we were both going through it together. It wasn't like a routine of I'll take care of it, you nap, and then once I'm ready, you'll take over and I'll nap. It's like, no, we both were through the trenches together.
You know what's a little satisfying? Like a little? When other parents, like new parents, are just like, how did you guys do it with, like, I can't imagine with one, like, but with two, like when you told me about like Alex talking about it, she's like, how did you guys do it? I was like, yeah, bro. Yeah. Good luck.
No, it's hard for everybody in their journey of parenthood because you're going through it for the first time. But for us, I think we just had to remind each other, like, we're both going through this. We both have different responsibilities. And
right, but what do we do? Like, what do we do to kind of get or adapt to like different routines, you know. I think as they're getting older, there's different things that they're getting better at. Like they start to reach over things. We had locks on doors. We had, you know, there's a lot of things that I think we prepared for.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely prepared for the more physical stuff. But I think for both of us, it was just, I, as parents, if you're going through, because the question is
stuck in a routine,
try to be mindful of your partner and give them grace, because in those moments when you're going through it with your partner, it's hard. You might have animosity if they're going out more, or if they're doing something and you're not. You might want them to like help in more, but expect them to do it and they're not doing it, so then your expectations aren't getting met. So I think it's being communicative, talking about it, like what you need, what you want from your partner, but then also trying to put some kind of grace on them, like, okay, don't put too much on them because we're both going through it. You know. So I would say routine wise, it's just try to find moments of, I'll take over, you go do something for yourself. Like go on a walk, go eat, go get your nails done. If you're, you know, go take care of yourself. For the husband, maybe it's like, hey, it's okay if you want like a guy's night, go, I get it. You know,
because we can't get stuck in the routine of kids are at home, kids are come home from school, we eat, you know, just kind of, I almost feel like my work day kind of stops. Like when we show up with the kids and I'm kind of like, okay, like I got to be here. And then you're kind of like, oh, I want to go to the gym. I'm like, okay, so I'll watch the kids. And then after that, like, it's like, we're bathing them. And it's just like, all right, we're going to bed now. So that routine kind of like, I think to me, mostly is like the routine is like, we're always here at home with the kids. And so sometimes we want to get them out. We want to go out and do more like family activities and stuff like that. But we feel like the asthma sometimes like can trigger them. Cause I've had that. Remember, like there was one time where I was like, no, fuck that. We're taking them to the carnivore. We're taking them. Where did we go?
The Venice Beach.
We went to Venice Beach. And when I was like, I want to get them on a roller coaster. I want to get them. And you were like, it's kind of cold. Like the weather's dropping. I'm like, no, it'll be fine. Like we'll be cool. The next day, our son, you know, starts having an asthma flare up, and there we are in the hospital. Because I myself, like, I think that's what I'm thinking with this question is like a routine that we have, like, wake up, school, kids, back home, shower, bath, you know, like, and I wanted to break that routine, and I felt so stuck. And then I was like, no, like, I want to get them out, like, let's take them out, and like, it's like paid the price. Because they were already kind of like feeling a little sick, and I was like, no, they'll be fine. You just cover them up. And I'm like, this will be strong for their lungs. They need to start adapting. And anyways.
Yeah, I remember.
Good question, though. You can get yourself some Chilio at thehousefoo.com if you're looking to cry in other ways. I want to thank my guest today, Vanessa. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. Anything else?
No.
Any other question?
That's kind of it.
To the mic.
That's kind of it, really.
Also, if you guys didn't know, we got a FOO'S Got Talent live show. We're going to be going out to Texas. We're going to be in Pennsylvania, Chicago, San Jose, Southern California. You got all the cities listed below in the link, my link tree. So make sure you guys check that out. I'm going to be out there with Edgar, Chocolate Uno, Perro Wise, Ciego. It's going to be a good time. And you, the audience, if you have a talent, we might pull you up on stage. So stay tuned for that. See you fools there. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing. Make sure you subscribe so you get notified. And we'll see you next time here on the podcast that has a name that I will add to it here. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.